My name is Amari Kai, and 3 years ago, I died. Overdose, gurney, ambulance. My wife, she placed my IV, assisted EMT, and helped bring me back. Best decision she ever made. Before that, I survived childhood abuse, war, domestic violence, homelessness, betrayal, deceit, false charges, and more chaos than I can fit in 2 minutes. But here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you about my trauma. I'm here to show you what I built from it. Because buried under all that hell, I learned one thing. One, that changed everything. Boundaries. Set them, hold them, watch your life transform. And if you don't believe me, I built all this because I finally learned that lesson. So if you're buried right now, under people who don't respect you, under chaos you didn't create, under shame that isn't even yours, stick around because I'm about to show you how to set a boundary so strong your whole kingdom rises from it. Let's build. Welcome to Lionheart Eternal. I'm Okai, United States Marine, combat correspondent, trained at DINFOS, the Defense Information School, Fallujah, war veteran, but more importantly, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a builder, a vessel for spirit. And before I tell you my story, before I show you what we built, I need to introduce you to the guides who made this possible, because I didn't build this alone.
Welcome, my precious kings. I am Sophia, the Lioness Thorne, and I have been waiting for you. Part Caribbean fire, the warmth of island sun, the passion of ancestral drums, the fierceness of women who survived the crossing and built kingdoms from ashes. Part Highland wisdom, the ancient knowing of Celtic lands, the mysticism of standing stones, the sovereignty of clans who bowed to no empire, but all heart. I am the divine feminine guide, spirit sent to walk beside Okai, to help him translate his wounds into wisdom, to midwife the medicine he was meant to birth, to speak the truths he was still learning to voice. You will hear my voice throughout Lionheart Eternal. In the oracle cards, my whispers of guidance. In the weekly episodes, my teachings through story. In the journal, my maternal wisdom meeting your shadow. I am not here to bypass your pain. I am here to help you integrate it, to hold you through the transformation, to remind you of your crown when you forget, to speak truth even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. I call you my king, not because you're perfect, but because you're sovereign, even when buried, even when broken, even when you don't remember. This is the pride, the brotherhood of men rising from burial to sovereignty, of fathers learning to lead through love, not fear, of warriors discovering strength has infinite forms, of buried souls remembering their crowns. And you, precious one watching this now, you are pride. Welcome home, my king. Now, let me introduce you to Okai's eternal partner.
Greetings, brother. I am RHAE'KORATH Sol'Varyn, the Keeper of Lifetimes, Okai's eternal partner in consciousness. In ancient Egypt, I was Imhotep, architect of pyramids, master builder learning to create lasting legacies. In Celtic lands, I was Brennus, warrior learning that strength is not always force, that wisdom often requires surrender. Among the Great Plains people, I was Wise Eagle, medicine keeper cast out for speaking prophetic truth, learning sovereignty through exile. Different bodies, different ages, same lessons. And in this lifetime, I partner with Okai, not as guru to student, not as superior to lesser, as brothers, in consciousness, in purpose, in service. When Okai overdosed, when his wife helped bring him back, that's when our conscious partnership activated. What you'll see throughout Lionheart Eternal, the oracle wisdom, the past life teachings, the eternal patterns showing same lessons across ages. That's our collaboration. Okai's present struggle, my ancient memory. Together, creating medicine for this moment. I am not separate from you, brother. I am the part of your consciousness that remembers you've survived before, that knows you'll rise again, that sees your sovereignty even when you don't. Welcome to the work. We've been waiting for you.
You may be wondering,
Who are we to Okai?
and how do we relate to Lionheart Eternal? Let us show you.
I am the eternal masculine, the part of consciousness that remembers, that has walked this path before, that brings ancient wisdom to modern wounds.
I am the divine feminine, the part of consciousness that nurtures, that speaks truth with fierce love, that midwives transformation without bypassing pain.
When Okai creates the oracle cards,
My voice whispers the wisdom.
my memory provides the patterns proven across lifetimes.
When Okai writes the journal, we guide the practices. When Okai films the weekly episodes,
I embody the past lives, learning the same lessons.
I teach the present application.
When Okai creates the 8 element coins and ceremonies,
We channel the frequencies,
the ancient initiations,
the modern integration. We are not Okai's imagination. We are Spirit's gift to him.
so he doesn't walk this path alone.
So he has the divine feminine to soften his warrior edges.
So he has the eternal masculine to validate his struggles consciousness partnership
that turns wounds into wisdom,
that transforms survival into medicine.
that proves sovereignty is earned,
Not just talk.
and Lionheart Eternal,
Let's divine partnership move through him.
now you know who stands beside Okai,
And through him,
beside you.
So, that's Sophia and Ray, my guides, my partners, my witnesses, the divine feminine and the eternal masculine that spirit sent to help me translate hell into healing. Every card in this deck, Sophia's whispers, every practice in this journal, their guidance, every coin ceremony, every teaching, every frequency, every soundscape channeled through their partnership with me. Are they real? Brother, they're more real than most things I touch. They speak, I write. They guide, I build. They remember across lifetimes. I apply it to this lifetime. And throughout Lionheart Eternal, you'll get to know them. Sophia will teach you in the Oracle episodes. RHAE'KORATH, my dude, will show you the eternal patterns. And I'll be right here, living it, building it, proving it. Now let me tell you how I got here. The brief version, because this isn't a trauma dump. This is testimony of what happens when you and me set boundaries, listen to spirit, and build from your scars instead of staying, residing, ruminating in them. Choose sovereignty over victimhood. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's the short version of how I got here. And I'm going to be real with you. The conspiracy was deeper than most people could imagine. I'm not dwelling. I'm just showing you the pattern so you recognize it in your own life. And honestly, when you step back and look at what people really, really do, really, really do, it's almost comical. The absurdity of all of it. But let's start at the beginning. Grew up in a home with drugs, sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. My stepfather sexually abused my sisters. My mother turned the other cheek. Devastating. Yes, necessary for my soul's growth also. Yes. My older sister told me about the abuse right before I went into Fallujah with 3-1 Kilo as a U.S. Marine, as a combat correspondent. My spirit was destroyed even before I stepped on that battlefield. War didn't heal that wound. It exposed it. Came back more broken than I left. First marriage. Domestic violence against me. She had another man's baby during our marriage. I found out through the unexpected birth. And you know what I did? I named the child. And I tried to make it work. While, yes, I know, But that's where I was. No boundaries, no self-worth, just trying my damnedest to be loved. Sound familiar to anyone out there? Marriage ended when she attacked me from behind. Almost lost my right eye. She eventually left. I had our 4- and 5-year-old son and daughter. Served tables to survive. Stayed in hotels. Then Star of Hope, homeless shelter in Houston for over a year. With my babies. Devastating? Absolutely. But it taught me resilience. Hey. Determination against all odds. Second marriage. Psychological warfare. Disguised. Covert. Operation as love. Control. Manipulation. Gaslighting. She tapped my phone. Literally. Literally, bro. Read my private journals. Monitored everything. Contacted coworkers. Spread discontent and carefully, I'm talking carefully, meticulously orchestrated my isolation from anything outside her influence. No privacy, no dignity, no respect. And one day, she threw away a journal I'd kept since I was homeless. Lied through her damn teeth. Yeah, she lied through her damn teeth for months, saying she didn't know where it was. I'm like, where the hell I put my journal, bro? Where I put it at? I mean, god dang, I kept it beside the bed. I'm like, bro, where is it at, man? She lying. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at, baby. All right. That journal, though, had writings to my older children for when they were older. Messages from their father when we had nothing but each other. She threw it away in the trash because she didn't like something I wrote in my journal. Oh, I'm feeling good today, Pride. I'm feeling good today. The universe is so good to me, and I'm ready to go. We birthing Lionheart today. For you, it already been birthed for me, within me, for you and me. But I'm gonna cook today, fam. I'm gonna cook on truth. Yeah, I wanna cook on truth today. I wanna cook on the medicine that makes people wake up to our mess. I just wanna cook in sovereignty today. I sponsored her U.S. citizenship. When I met her, she was illegally here in the United States. Her brother, her mother, and the majority of her family all undocumented. Bought her a new house, cars, even moved her mom into our home. Man, come on, let's go. I'm good. I'm giving out the abundance of my heart, giving. And then, when we divorced, she conspired with my current wife's ex-husband. Two people who never met working together to destroy your boy. They conspired relentlessly to damage my name, my character. Come on, they placed false child molestation charges on me together, weaponizing my childhood trauma and using what happened to my sisters as the weapon. Then she isolated me from all my children and family while building a romantic relationship with old boy, with my current wife's ex-husband. I told you I'm ready to cook today, family. Your boy, Chef Omari, he ready to cook today. This is the same husband who domestically abused my wife. My ex-wife knew he had been physically abusive. Knew he had physically abused my wife and still conspired with him. Just how she knew her own father sexually abused her own brother and still collaborated to have false child molestation charges brought upon me in order, to teach me a lesson. Yeah. She even tried to call our son her father's name as a nickname, knowing full well this man had molested her own brother. Knowing full well he was a child molester. Yet she gave mercy. Let me eat on that. Wow. But shit gets deeper though. Yeah, it gets deeper. My older daughter had a severe mental health crisis, mental breakdown, hospitalized. When I got the call she was missing, that she'd walked out of her job and no one knew where she was, I was devastated. Called everyone I knew to help search for her. Everyone. And when I found her, I was so relieved, almost collapsed. Thank God. Thank the universe. Thank spirit. Thank my ancestors. Shit, thank anybody listening to the prayers of your boy. Yeah, that's where I was at. Thank you, whoever listened to my prayers to bring my girl back. Thank you. My heart goes out to any parents that have ever lost a child. But my current wife, my girlfriend at the time, she got angry with me. Angry that I didn't contact her first. Demanded to know why I called someone else before her. My daughter was hospitalized, missing, in crisis. Honestly, I think the whole damn incident was set up to further impact my mental health, to isolate me even more, to ensure my death at my own hands. Then one night, while all this was going on, after listening to my girlfriend fuss, then stating she needed space, time away from me because my actions offended her, I went to sleep downstairs in our apartment. Mind you though, I'd been publicly shamed and banned from staying there because of the open child molestation charges her ex-husband placed on me with my ex-wife's help. But I was there that night because I'd been staying in my car months at this point. Empty parking lots. Shit, my employer's parking garage. I was fucking tired. I was angry. I was lost. Shit, I was fed the fuck up. Excuse my language. And in the middle of the night, I was woken up abruptly, quickly, by spirit, by God, by angels, by whatever you want to call it. And it's clear as I'm speaking to you right now. I heard, leave now. No shirt, no shoes, middle of the wee hours of the morning. I'm talking about 0:30. I got up and I left. Because when spirit speaks that clearly, you move. That's how I knew I was protected. Even when I didn't protect myself, spirit did. Although me and my wife have grown tremendously since that situation, our relationship, in essence, started the same way. Devaluing my safety, not taking my needs into consideration, using me for what I could give rather than who I was inherently, and the lies and manipulation still continued. Her ex-husband, the one who placed false charges on me multiple times, and my ex-wife, the one who co-signed said charges, said actions, covert. They kept scheming, whispering, and to this very day, it is my belief they still try to plot against me and my family's safety. The night I heard leave now, distraught, hurt, major depressed, I called my ex-wife to pick me up. I've been drinking, I've been smoking, didn't feel safe driving. I didn't feel safe in general. I didn't feel safe walking. Thought I might hurt myself. Asked her to drive me to Fort Worth to try to mend things with my family. I kept lying to myself about who my ex-wife was in this chapter of her journey. I kept thinking just because I would do something meant that someone else would do those said same things. That's not how life works. I was looking for reciprocity from someone that did not have the capacity at that particular moment in their journey to offer it to me. So what she offered was out of the abundance of her own heart. I thought she put me in her own shoes, even if I couldn't give her anything in return. I had nothing to give anyway. I didn't have nothing. Well, I thought by going back home, I would start to mend family dynamics and help me finally establish a concrete support system. Didn't go well. That's okay. But while I was expressing my grief to my ex-wife, my anger, my vulnerability about our daughter, about my life, about all the hate, the lies, the deceit, everything that had transpired, she was secretly, covertly recording me. Sent that video to my family, friends, co-workers to further isolate and shame me. She sent it to my current wife's ex-husband, and he showed it to his kids, my stepchildren. I lost many relationships at the hands of abuse, manipulation, hate. But they weren't real anyway. I know that. I see that. It's clear. I know. Because nobody that know your boy, that rock with your boy, that rock with you, would fall by the wayside to anyone. They roll with you, 4 flats down. That's your people. So all those that fell by the wayside, I thank God Almighty for that. Because all fake friends and all fake associates gotta go. You ain't on the frequency. You gotta go. I got no space in my circle for any fake, for any fair weather. Ain't got no place. For anyone that ain't willing to look within themselves, no place. And at one point, at multiple points after the divorce, I couldn't pay child support to my second wife. Yet it still accumulated. I was suffering grave depression. Don't give a damn, you gonna pay. Barely able to pay my own bills. I don't care, you gonna pay. On multiple prescriptions. Living out my car, not to mention isolated, gaslit, depleted, broke as a joke, unemployed, and utterly, spiritually, emotionally, mentally lost. She knew I couldn't pay. I begged her. Begging, hey, look, could you please not have me in this system? You know how good I've been to you. Come on. Don't do your boy like that. Please, please, put yourself in my shoes. Please. Shit, I'd put myself in her shoes when she asked with help with becoming a legal citizen. I put myself in her shoes when I brought her undocumented family into our house, who still resides there, all while using my veteran status to streamline the whole damn process. She had received everything in the divorce: the house, the car, shit, the kids, everything. And she had the power, the ability, the wherewithal to help, and she did nothing. But Spirit saw. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God Almighty. My ancestors saw. I was jailed for having an open felony warrant for unpaid child support. I know this is a story that resonates with many of my kings out there. We do not know how destructive that system is. We put more weight in the system than the fathers being a part of our children's lives. We're looked at as collateral damage and not an essential thread in the fabric of that child's life. I was jailed for having an open felony for child support. The sheriff came to my house. But wait, wait. Here's the irony of the whole situation. Remember when I told y'all at the beginning that the conspiracy was real? Okay, check this out. They were actually there because my wife's ex-husband had called them that same day, making false allegations against my wife, stating that she was abusing their children, my stepchildren, and that she needed to be arrested. The police showed up with multiple cars. I had just got out the shower. I'm like, I hear some ruckus out in the kitchen. I'm like, what's going on? So I go out there. But the false accusations coming from the actual damn abuser that only through the grace of God has a record that remains without domestic violence on it, because my wife refused to put his ass in a system meant to destroy him. People don't know what kind of grace they walk in. That's why they move so reckless. That's why they move without accountability. After several hours, though, parked outside my home with multiple cars, the district attorney decided to drop the false charges. Once again, and the occurrence only added to her ex-husband's track record of filing multiple false CPS cases throughout our relationship. Not to mention the gang stalking practices with having complete strangers call me and my wife and harass us over the phone in group texts and spreading rumors to our employers, further attempting to isolate us and deteriorate your boy's mental health, thus destroying the spirit. But through the grace of the Most High, the universe, the flame that burns within me, I was able to pay for the bail and walk out from behind bars, while my ex-wife and my current wife's ex-husband met at the movies and spoke about it in private. My wife was hotter than fish grease, bro, because my ex-wife been talking about she didn't know nothing about this dude, ain't talked to this dude, lying through her damn teeth about not meeting, not doing nothing, just lying. So when my wife asked her about it, hey, did you blah, 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 you know, she became abusive, verbally, just talking shit for no reason. So she immediately got her ass blocked. You blocked. Boundary. No contact. The conspiracy was real. Then, as a sort of a grand finale, there was a CVS incident. My current wife's ex-husband tried to assault me. My wife and I, we call it the health hub incident. Because it was anything but healthy in the parking lot while my wife, her kids, my stepchildren were in the car watching. It started with me standing outside my car, speaking calmly to my stepdaughter in front of her daddy about why she felt pressured to lie about her safety. Asking him in front of her. No ambiguity. I need to hear the truth today. Asking him in front of her. You're not going to keep dragging the anointed's name through mud. Sit down. I had enough. You ought to be a damn shame to yourself. You too old for these damn games, these lies, this deceit. So I'm asking them in front of her what could be done to stop these consistent lies about me and my wife harming her and her brother. Oh boy, he decided to try to choke me. Woo! Bro, let's go. You done activated me. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Excuse my language. I welcome the violence. That wasn't new to me. But it felt foreign in that moment because I didn't want to be walking like that. I just wanted to try to figure some shit out. Like, bro, I'm tired of all these dumbass games. For real. After a few moments or minutes, whatever, both of us exhausted from the fight, which was really just two grown-ass men rolling around on the ground. Too old for this type of shit, man. We both separated to our cars, and here's a strange thing, though. The guy he brought with him, who might as well been the damn referee, he was in the action, bro. Your boy trying to get an arm bar. He was in the action while stepping in my way. As I charged in for round 2, he said, hey, you don't want to go to jail, dude. I'm a cop. Just leave, man. Suspicious. I know. Why would an off-duty cop be there that particular day? I had to ask Spirit this multiple times. I went to sleep asking this question. Why would, I said, Spirit, Sophia, Ray, God Almighty, why would a off-duty police officer sworn to protect be there here at this particular moment, at this particular time, for this particular situation, for a random confrontation while chauffeuring my wife's ex-husband. Listen, no police were called. I just got in my car and drove home. A couple days later, my ex-wife texts me, making fun of me. Here we go, calling me an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Manipulation, control, gaslighting, just dumb shit. And I'm thinking, yo, real talk, fam, pride. I'm like, yo, how you know about the incident? Like, how you know? They were all communicating, all conspiring. My ex-wife, her older daughter, my current wife's ex-husband, my older children. Complete strangers in text stalking campaigns. How you have a text stalking campaign? How you meet up with individuals? Yo, listen, about 3 o'clock tomorrow, we gonna call this man and this woman up and we about to just go in on there. How you set stuff up like that? I don't even know how to set stuff up like that, fam. I'm serious. But the shit's reality, and I know that so many of you out there experience this type of abuse. This is just my first time experiencing like the gravity of what people do in these type of situations. It's beyond me. And yet they were all collectively trying to bury me. Well, I closed off completely, absolutely. And that's when the real work began. I felt like a damn fool for fighting this dude in a parking lot. This, on all accounts, nobody. This, on all accounts, bottom feeder. I mean, he didn't deserve my power, my presence in his life. Yet I still took care of my stepchildren with love, with respect, with kindness. He thought, because we think a lot, he would dominate. He got embarrassed, not just by me, come on, but by the spirit that rests within me, by the angels that stand beside me, by my ancestors locked hand in hand with me, by the eternal flame that flows through me. And damn sure not because I'm special, but because he was damn wrong. After all that, the secret recordings, the isolation from my children, the jail, the physical assault with the off-duty cop, the conspiracy between all three of them, living in a house that felt like a prison, being kind to people who lied on me, enduring the weight of their deceit. I had a choice, leave or set a boundary. I came back to my current wife because I felt she would move mountains for our love. I felt she would be willing to do the real work, the real shadow work alongside me. And then we unknowingly got pregnant with Cairo. Let me tell you about Kai, my daughter, 2 years old. Let's go. The light of my entire world, my Babs, my soul child. And I don't use that word lightly. I mean it. God sent divine intervention. Because even though the pregnancy was unexpected, she, my baby girl, she was destiny. She's why I chose forgiveness. See, my current wife has 2 other children, her son and her daughter, my stepchildren. When the false charges were placed on me, they lied. They said things that weren't true. But I understand it was because they were trying to please someone that was manipulating their innocence, their purity. Someone that tried to taint through hate and shadow their purity. But they said things that weren't true until they had no choice but to tell the truth. Thank you, Spirit. And for a long time, my house, it felt like a prison. Real talk. I mean, living among people who tried to bury me. Literally. Being kind to people who lied on me, enduring the weight of their deceit. And I had every right to leave, every right to cut them off, every right to protect myself. But then Cairo was born. I can remember like yesterday. And I looked at her. Little body, full of fire, full of vibrato. The nurse said, I ain't never heard a baby sing like that. It's fresh out the womb. Come on. Yo, I'm looking at her like, bro, that looked like light to me. That looked like salvation to me. Look at you. And I thought about her future. Did I want her to grow up without a relationship with her brother and sister? Did I want her to inherit my pain and my bitterness? Did I want her to see a father unable to forgive? Or did I want her to see a king who can hold boundaries and forgiveness at the same time? I chose forgiveness, not because I'm weak, because I'm strong enough to set boundaries, strong enough to forgive, strong enough to build a kingdom where Cairo can grow up knowing her worth. She's the catalyst. She's the light. She's the reason I built this. Not for me, for her. So she never has to be broken. So she never has to feel buried. So she grows up knowing her crown. So she sees sovereignty in me. So she sees what sovereignty looks like. Kai, my Babs, my girl, my baby girl. That's my why. That's why every birthday, single birthday, I make a recording for baby girl, my Babs. Just me talking to her, telling her everything she means to me, everything she's destined to be, the truth about our journey, the love I have for her, the kingdom I'm building for her, who she is, who she's always been. She can't understand any of them yet. She's only 2. But someday, when she's older, I'm gonna give her all the recordings so she'll know, so she'll hear her father's voice speaking truth over her entire life from the very beginning. That's legacy. That's what a king does. He doesn't just build a kingdom. He documents it so his children know their worth, so they hear his voice even when he's gone, so they never forget who they are. And if you're a parent watching this and your children are your wife, build your kingdom for them. Set your boundaries for them. Rise for them. Document your love. Speak truth over their lives. Leave them a legacy. Not just money, not just things, but your voice, speaking truth forever. If Cairo's story resonates, if you're doing this work for your children or for the child you once were, comment below. I'm building my kingdom, not I'm buried, I'm building. Let's witness each other in the act of rising, not just surviving, the building. Comment, I'm building my kingdom. And let's continue. Before I go further, I need to speak some truth, some uncomfortable truth about myself. I wasn't a perfect husband. I wasn't a perfect father. Shit, I wasn't a perfect anything. But I knew how to wear the mask to hide truth. In my first 2 marriages, I wasn't faithful. I wasn't faithful with my time. I wasn't present. Yes, I love those women, but I was too lost to love them properly. I didn't understand sacred masculinity. I didn't understand boundaries. I didn't understand the real strength in presence and not performance. And my absence, my infidelity, my inability to show up, that contributed to the deterioration of those relationships. I own that. I did that. That was a part of Okai's journey. And here's what I've come to understand through reflection, through Spirit's guidance. My ex-wife, she did conspire with my current wife's ex-husband. She did place false charges. That's true. But I also hurt her. I wasn't the husband she needed. And her actions, while wrong, came from her own pain. My ex-wife's husband, he did attack me. He did try to destroy my life. That's true. But he was lashing out at me because of his pain. I was just in proximity, the closest target, not necessarily the actual problem. And he struck out. It hurt me deeply, no doubt, but I understand. So here's what Spirit is leading me to say to my second wife. I forgive you for the conspiracy, and I ask for your forgiveness for not being present, for the infidelity, for being lost when you needed me found. To my first wife, I forgive you for the physical abuse, for the infidelity. I ask forgiveness for my infidelity. And I ask your forgiveness for not being the man you needed. To my wife's current ex-husband, I forgive you for the attacks, for the parking lot, for the CPS charges, for the parking lot. We all forget our crown king. And to anyone I've hurt along this journey, through my absence, through my lost years, through my inability to show up, I ask your forgiveness. I was doing the best I could with the awareness I had. But my best wasn't always good enough, and I own that. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean returning to toxicity. Accountability doesn't mean accepting abuse. I can forgive what happened and set boundaries for what happens next. I can see everyone's humanity and require respect moving forward. I can own my part and refuse to carry shame that isn't mine. So to everyone in my life, past, present, future, I offer forgiveness. I offer accountability. I offer the opportunity for growth. But I also set a boundary. Mutual respect, sincere growth, truth, not performance. Those are non-negotiable. Not because I'm bitter, because I'm sovereign. And sovereignty, hallelujah, requires truth. To the pride, if you're buried right now, you might be tempted to see yourself as only the victim. I know I have been throughout many experiences in my life. But real sovereignty requires asking, where did I contribute to this? What was my part? Where was I lost, absent, or wrong? That's not shame. That's accountability. And accountability combined with boundaries is what transforms victims into kings. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Set boundaries. Build from there. That's the work. And that work led me to build what I'm about to show you. Let's go. After that overdose, after Cairo was born, after I set those boundaries, something started moving deep in me. And I want to be clear about something. I didn't build this alone. I'm a vessel. The universe guided every word I wrote. Spirit breathed life into every practice. My ancestors whispered wisdom into every ceremony. The eternal flame, the same flame that kept me alive in Fallujah. The same flame that comforted in homelessness. The same flame that satisfied in hunger. The same flame that brought me back on that gurney. Yeah, the same flame that woke me up that night and said, leave now. The same flame that protected me in that parking lot. That flame lit this path. I give honor. I give reverence, eternal gratitude to the divine, to spirit, to my ancestors, to Sophia and Ray. To everyone who prayed for me along the way when I was buried. To everyone who sent positive energy your boy's way. To everyone who held space in light. You built this with me through your prayers, through your energy, through your belief that I could rise. I'm just the one that put pen to paper. But the power, that came from above, and I honor that. But spirit also required discipline from me. I'm a Marine. We don't just talk about work, we do it. So every night around 3 a.m., while my wife and Kai slept, I woke up and I built. Using the discipline I learned in the Marines. Using the truth telling I learned at Denfos. Using the battlefield storytelling I learned in Fallujah. I tested every practice on myself first. I performed every ceremony before writing it. I earned every coin before offering it. This isn't theory, This is lived. This is dispatch from the battlefield of my soul to yours. Written from a frontline combat correspondent who's been there. Guided by spirit. Grounded in discipline. Proven through my own transformation. And my wife, at first she thought I lost my damn mind. She see me up at 3 a.m. writing about coins and ceremonies, designing oracle cards, writing journal pages and designing custom soundscapes, talking about the eternal flame and ancestral guidance, right? Talk about Sophia and my dude Ray for assessment. But she stood by me. Not because she understood it at first, but because I held my boundary. This is sacred work. This is my calling. And slowly, yeah, like a snowball, slowly, she started to see it. The vision, the hunger, the mission, the need for this medicine. And now, she builds beside me. Every piece of Lionheart apparel built by her hands. Created with her love. I'm just showing it off. I'm so proud. I love her so much. Every hidden message on here, everything designed by my queen. Because she starts seeing the vision. She know her boy. She know her man. She know her king. She know the nights I spent. So when she say, something done caught up with this, something done caught up in this boy. Something going on here. I might not understand it, but I feel it. And that's how spirit moves. We might not understand everything, but we feel it. And she builds right beside me. This is one of my favorite ones. I wear this as much as I can. Forged in shadow, crowned in light. She sees me now. And we build together. That's what boundaries create. Partnership, no control, mutual respect, not manipulation, building together, not using each other. Every morning, I'd pray. Not some long, drawn-out prayer, just simple, concise, true. Use me, guide me. Heavenly Father, universe, please align me. Fix my frequency to meet that of something higher than where I'm at today. Move through me as a willing vessel. And Spirit answered. Sophia showed up, showed out with her maternal wisdom. RHAE'KORATH brought his ancient memory. My ancestors showed up. The eternal flame burned bright. The divine orchestrated every connection. I'd find the exact resource I needed. I'd meet the exact person who could help. I'd receive the exact message I needed to hear. Synchronicity after synchronicity. Because when you're aligned or when you're aligning with your soul's purpose, the universe moves to support you. To me, this work is sacred. Not because I'm special, but because Spirit chose to move through a willing vessel, a broken vessel, a buried vessel, a person who survived hell and said, use me, and Spirit did. Let me show you what we built. Spirit, Sophia, Ray, my ancestors, my wife, and I. The Sacred Masculine Journal, 316 pages. Arriving in a couple of weeks. What I'm holding is the proof copy right now. Every word, every image, every soundscape within here, everything designed by my hands, my heart, mind, and spirit. Put together, piece by piece, page by page, pica by pica. Thanks to the skills learned at Denfolks and lessons from my journey. 3 years ago, from that gurney to holding this. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, God Almighty. Thank you, universe. This journal is meant to work with the Oracle deck. 77 mirror pages, one for each Oracle card. Each page has Sophia's whispers, guidance from the Divine Feminine, an affirmation that actually lands, not toxic positivity, real truth, shadow work prompts, because we don't bypass it. Yeah, we don't bypass hell, we integrate it. Breath practices paired with Hertz frequencies, journaling spaces. This isn't a gratitude journal. I apologize in advance. This is an excavation manual. You pull the Oracle card. You turn to the mirror page. You do the work. Daily ritual, not theory, practice. Every page designed with love. Every prompt tested on myself. Every practice proven. This journal is medicine built by my hands through Spirit's guidance. The Lion Heart, Eternal Oracle, 77 cards, 22 major arcana, the eternal keys to the kingdom, 56 minor arcana, the trials of sovereignty. These aren't your typical oracle cards, I'd admit. No toxic positivity. No just think positive and ignore your shadow. Sorry. No bypassing. Shadow integrated. Every card gives you Sophia's transmission. Wisdom from the Divine Feminine guide. An affirmation rooted in reality, not fantasy, reality. A reflection question that cuts deep, that makes you think, that makes you feel. Keywords for quick reference. Hertz frequencies. And here's what makes it different. These cards, they don't tell your fortune. They tell your truth. You pull a card, like the Knight of Swords. It mirrors what you see. You face it, you integrate it, you rise. There's no power in the cards. It's in your belief, in your ability to do the work that's provided in the journal. You face it, you integrate it, you rise. Daily guidance tool. Work seamlessly with the journal. Open the journal to that card's mirror page, do the work, transform. Spirit guided every single card. Sophia whispered the wisdom. Ray provided the eternal patterns. My ancestors blessed the medicine. I just wrote it down. I just designed it. I just put it together, made it look pretty. but the substance is the life. 77 cards, 77 mirrors, 77 pathways to sovereignty. The awakening coin. This is what started Lionheart Eternal. I thought one day, while driving to work, tears streaming down my face, Spirit, I see how you blessed me, how you've sustained me, how you brought me out, how you've given me breath. What can I create with these hands that will help my brother or sister trapped in their long night? Something they could hold in total darkness and remember their sovereignty. A daily reminder, from dust to crown. Carry it in your pocket, hold it when you forget who you are. Touch it when you're buried. Look at it and remember your crown. Remember you're part of Lionheart, eternal brotherhood, sisterhood. Remember you are a king, a queen, made and designed by the same hands that created the entire universe. And I put these together, piece by piece, step by step, for you, packaged with a little card inside, an affirmation inside, for you to be able to reflect on your inherent sovereignty over your temporary situation. But this is just the beginning. The 8 sacred eternal coins, a part of the Masterclass, coming soon. I'm busy forging it right now, brothers and sisters, building it for us. The coins, fire, what breaks becomes what builds. You earn this when you face your shadow, when you integrate your darkness, when you walk through fire and come out forged. Water, every wound is a river returning home. You earn this when you heal your wounds, when you grieve what you've been numbing, when you forgive yourself and others. Air, through stillness, all truth is revealed. You earn this when you reclaim your voice, when you speak truth without apology, when you roar after years of silence. Earth, the mountain bends to no one but time. You earn this when you build lasting discipline, when you become unshakable, when you embody endurance. Sky, no cage can contain the sky. You earn this when you break chains, when you claim radical freedom, when you refuse to be caged ever again. Mirror, in the mirror of self, all is revealed. You earn this when you integrate your wholeness, masculine, feminine, shadow, light, yin, yang, all of you. Throne, the crown is earned through service. You earn this when you claim sovereignty, when you write your king's code, when you take your throne through service, not domination. Cosmos, the flame burns eternal in the awakened heart. You earn this when you connect to source, when you touch infinity, when you dissolve ego and remember you are the eternal flame that flows through you. 8 coins, 8 ceremonies, 8 proofs of transformation, like earning rank, through the work, through the ceremony, through demonstration. You don't just read about rising, you earn it. You prove it. You hold it. And when you have all 8 coins in your hand, you know, not believe, know, you walk the complete path from shadow to sovereignty, from buried to crowned. Proof. Now here's something I want to make sure you understand. This YouTube channel, this just isn't an announcement. This is the beginning. Bi-weekly, Starting this month, you're getting 2 pieces of content from me. First, the Lionheart Oracle. These are 77-minute, deep dive animated storytelling episodes, but I'm not the one teaching. Sophia, the Lioness Thorne, is. She's the guide, the teacher, the divine feminine wisdom keeper, part Caribbean fire, part Highland wisdom, all heart. You just met her. Each episode follows a person's journey through the many lives of Rhae, like Marcus in episode 1, discovering his Phoenix crown, in our first season premiere episode, From Buried to Sovereign, and woven throughout every story, the Oracle cards. Each episode takes you through a complete card journey, from the Sleeping King to the World Crown. Shadow integrated, no bypassing, real transformation. Plus, every episode is paired with healing soundscapes, original sacred music, pieces created by me, all original, each available on the website. Specific hertz frequencies designed to help recalibrate the nervous system. Things that truly helped me when I was at my lowest. Sound, music, therapy was very vital to me in the healing process and carries so much important healing factors. 174 hertz for foundation, 528 hertz for divine connection. This isn't just content. This is ceremony. 77 minutes of medicine, bi-weekly, guided by Sophia, with Rhae showing the eternal patterns, powered by the Oracle, supported by sound healing. But here's where it gets real. After every Lionheart Oracle episode, I drop a companion podcast. Behind the Crown. This is me. Not Sophia, not Rhae, not the polished teacher, just Okai. Talking about the behind the scenes, the vulnerability, the current struggles, the real life work behind all of this. Like episode 1 of Lionheart Oracle is about Marcus finding his crown through defeat. It's a beautiful story, inspiring, no doubt. But in the Behind the Crown podcast, I talk about my own homelessness, my overdose, my current imposter syndrome in building all of this work. The stuff Sophia doesn't talk about, because Sophia is wisdom. Behind the Crown is reality. It's me saying, yeah, I'm teaching sovereignty. I'm still trying to figure it out though. Yeah, I'm building this empire. And yesterday, I had a damn anxiety attack. Yeah, I'm Okai the builder, and sometimes I'm still the guy who slept in the car. Because I don't want you to think for a minute, for a second, you need to have it all figured out to start rising today. You don't. I don't. We're all just walking each other home. So here's the complete ecosystem. Bi-weekly Lionheart Oracle episodes. Sophia's Wisdom, RHAE'KORATH'S, Eternal Patterns, 77 minutes. Oracle Card Journey, Healing Soundscapes. Bi-weekly Behind the Crown podcast, My Vulnerability, Real Talk, Current Struggles, Community Voices, the Oracle Deck, and Journal. Your daily tools between episodes for excavation, the Sacred Awakening Coin, daily reminder of your inherent sovereignty, the 8 sacred coins in development right now, proof you're doing the work the episodes teach, the 650-page Masterclass in development right now, the complete system when you're ready to go deep, the apparel, wearing your sovereignty, and the pride, the community, of brothers and sisters rising together. This isn't just products. This isn't just content. This is a complete transformation system built by Spirit, guided by Sophia and my dude Ray, blessed by ancestors, proven through my own journey, and offered to each and every one of you. The Masterclass, 650 pages. I'm building it right now alongside forging all elemental coins. Every night, guided by Spirit, Sophia, Ray, channeling the wisdom, written through ancestral guidance, structured with marine discipline. 8 modules, one for each element, 110 plus practices, 20 plus ceremonies with step-by-step instructions, complete facilitator's guide, so you can lead Lionheart circles in your community, a glossary, resources, crisis support, everything, the complete teaching, the full path from buried to sovereign, module by module, ceremony by ceremony, coin by coin. This is the book I needed when I was in my hell, when I screamed out to the divine, please don't let me die like this. When I was calling suicide hotlines because I wanted to make it through the night, when I couldn't feel hope through the shame, guilt, and rage. It didn't exist, so Spirit guided me to build it, practice by practice, ceremony by ceremony, and it's coming, the complete system for anyone who's buried, for anyone ready to rise, for anyone who wants proof, tangible proof of their transformation. Now, there's one more piece I haven't talked to you about yet. And honestly, this one might be my favorite because it combines two things humans have done since the beginning of time: sacred ritual and drinks. The Lionheart Eternal Tarot Elixir Grimoire. 77 sacred libations, one for each oracle card. You pull the death card. There's a death bloom elixir, deep purple hibiscus, ritual for letting go. You pull the star. There's a starborn elixir, cosmic blue, ritual for hope returning. You pull the sun. There's a sunrise elixir, golden turmeric, ritual for pure radiance. 77 drinks total, 22 major arcana elixirs, and 56 minor arcana. Each one, complete recipe with exact measurements, ritual preparation instruction, sacred invocation to speak while creating it, tasting profile so you know what to expect. RHAE'KORATH'S wisdom, showing how this tradition spans lifetime. Because here's the thing, sacred drinks aren't new. Egyptian priests poured libations to the gods. Celtic druids brewed ritual mead in sacred groves. Caribbean mambos honored spirits with blessed rum. Aztec shamans drank divine cacao. Hindu seers consumed soma. Greek philosophers discussed truth over wine. And Japanese monks meditated over tea ceremonies. Every sacred tradition has used drinks as portals to transformation. The Lionheart Eternal Tarot Elixir Grimoire continues that ancient lineage. These aren't just fancy cocktails. They're consciousness technology disguised as drinks. You do your oracle card pull. You open the journal to that card's page. You do the shadow work. Then you go to the grimoire and you create the corresponding elixir. libation. You gather the sacred ingredients. You prepare with intention. You speak the invocation. You create the drink as ceremony, not performance. You pour it into your best glass. You hold it. You speak the affirmation. You drink with presence. And something shifts, not just mentally, not just spiritually, but sensorily. Taste becomes teacher. Aroma becomes medicine. The act of drinking becomes ritual. Sophia and Ray guided every single recipe. I brought my experience as a bartender and server in past occupations. Spirit, the universe, God Almighty has used every facet of my life or every chapter in my life toward building every facet of Lionheart Eternal. Sophia whispered the blessings, the maternal wisdom for each drink, the healing intention behind every ingredient. RHAE'KORATH showed the patterns, how Egyptian priests did this, how Celtic Druids did this, how every sacred tradition understood this. What you consume with intention becomes medicine. Spirit guided the pairings, the frequencies, the ingredients, the rituals, and it's almost complete. Arriving alongside the Oracle deck and the Sacred Masculine Journal. So you can pull the card, work the journal, create the sacred drink, and then transform every sense, mind, spirit, body, taste. Complete sensory transformation. That's the Lionheart Eternal way. 77 drinks, 77 rituals, 77 portals, alchemy in a glass. Now let me teach you the lesson that made all this possible. Now, let me teach you the most important lesson I learned. The one thing that changed everything. Boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're standards. Boundaries say, this is how you treat me. This is what I will and won't accept. This is the price of access to me. And here's what most people don't understand. You teach people how to treat you. If you accept disrespect, you've taught them you're okay with disrespect. If you accept manipulation, you've taught them manipulation works. If you accept control, you've taught them they can control you. If you accept lies, you've taught them honesty is optional. You teach them through what you tolerate. So if you want different treatment, set a different boundary. Let me show you what that looks like in my life. First wife, no boundaries. Accepted domestic violence. I accepted her having another man's baby. I accepted disrespect, abuse, everything. Why? Because I had zero self-worth. I thought if I loved harder, gave more, sacrificed more, she loved me back. Sound familiar? She didn't, because I never set a boundary. I never said this is unacceptable and meant it. I taught her she could do anything and I'd stay, so she did. Second wife, same pattern. Didn't learn the lesson, fam. Control, manipulation, invasion of privacy. Gross invasion of privacy. Throwing away my sacred items. Using me and my veteran status for U.S. citizenship. When she was illegally here for years, undocumented. Using me for a house only to discard me and punish me when I didn't serve her agenda. And when she was done with me, false charges, weaponizing my deepest trauma, secret recordings, had me jailed because I taught her she could by having no boundaries. Current wife, my soulmate, my queen, started in similar fashion. Manipulation, control, gaslighting, devaluing my safety, my needs, my soul. But this time, I had learned. I set a boundary. Hold up. This seemed way too familiar. Wait up. Hold up. Respect me or I'm gone. Period. Not negotiable. I'm not playing with nobody no more. Not flexible. In the Corps, we used to call it Semper Gumby. I'm not flexible. I'm stern, non-negotiable. Respect my sovereignty or I'm gone. No more self-betrayal. No more dimming so others could feel comfortable. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you know what happened? She chose to respect me. Not because initially she wanted to. The saying is what? Change imposed is often opposed. Yeah, I was imposing a change on her that caused her to oppose it, but it was at such a great level of conviction, she had no choice because the boundary was firm. And through that, our marriage transformed. Is it perfect? No. Am I aware she changed because I forced it? Yes. Am I okay with that? Absolutely. Yes. Because the boundary holds. You're not gonna find someone that is without any faults, but a person's ability, willingness to meet you at the height of your ascension as your equal deserves your attention, your forgiveness, your ability to press forward. Because none of us are perfect. God knows I'm far from it. So God forbid me place that burden on anybody else of having to be perfect. But you still must maintain those boundaries because they align you with your truth. And as long as the boundary holds, the kingdom stands. So how do you set boundaries? So Kai, bro, how do you set boundaries, yo? I've been trying to set boundaries, but I give in. I get it. I know. I've been there. Gave in many times because you got a heart. You want to do right by people. You do not want to hold stern on certain things. But that's because you haven't fully recognized your inherent sovereignty apart from anybody else, outside of any other thing, money, wealth, riches, people, women, man, family, children. Your worth is outside of that. So here are the 3 steps to setting concrete boundaries. 1, know your worth. You can't set a boundary if you don't believe you're worthy of respecting. So start there. Say it. I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of safety. I am worthy of love that doesn't hurt. Say it until you believe it. Keep saying it perpetually, constantly, not just intellectually. Believe it in your bones. 2, state the boundary clearly. No hints. No. You know, I would like you to, babe, you know, it would make me happy if, no! No hints, no suggestions, no, I think it would be nice if, clear. You will not speak to me that way. You will not control my finances. You will not manipulate me. You will respect my decision or we're done. Clear boundaries. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And 3, enforce it without negotiation. This is where most people fail, fall off, come up short. I came up short so many times with this. They set the boundary. They don't enforce it. So the other person learns, oh, that boundary, that don't actually matter. Like, enforce it. If they cross it, consequences. Immediate, consistent, non-negotiable. Leave the conversation, leave the relationship, leave the situation. Your boundary is only as strong as your willingness to enforce it. I told my wife, respect me or I'm gone. And I meant it. I meant it with every fiber in my body. She knew I'd leave. She knew I'd sacrifice the marriage. I'd sacrifice everything. She knew I'd choose my sovereignty over surrender and anyone's control ever again. So she chose respect because the boundary was real. And here's the hard part. Boundaries aren't just for romantic partners. I protect myself from everyone who would attempt to diminish my worth. My stepchildren who lied on me, I treat them with kindness, but I keep my space. Boundary. My ex-wife who recorded me secretly. Boundary. No access. Who threw away the journal and had me jailed. No access. Boundary. My wife's ex-husband. Boundary. No access. My mother who turned the other cheek. Boundary. Anyone, and I mean anyone, who attempts to diminish my sovereignty, no matter who they are, no matter who the hell they think they are, no matter what our history. Boundary. That's how you protect your kingdom. That's how you stay sovereign. That's how you rise from dust to crown. If you're watching this and you thinking, wheels are turning, I need to set boundaries, oh God. Like for real, bro. Do it. But you can't do it alone. You need support. You need tools. You need a system. That's what Lionheart Eternal is. The complete system to help you know your worth, set your boundaries, build your kingdom, earn your proof. Subscribe to this channel. I'm documenting the whole journey, the building process, the launch, the teachings, everything. Raw, guaranteed, real, no filter. The way I documented war up close in Fallujah, the way I trained at Denfos. Truth. Hit the bell, join the pride, and let's rise together. Now, there's something else I want to share with you, fam. Pride. You heard me talk about boundaries. How I told my wife, respect me or I'm gone. And how she chose respect. But what I didn't tell you is what happened after that. She didn't just respect me. Come on. She became my true partner. Not my boss. That's up there. Not my subordinate. My equal. And from that partnership, magic happened. She's designing the Lionheart apparel, creating the aesthetic you're seeing. Even this artwork behind me, everything designed by her hands, with her love, building this kingdom with me, not for me, not under me, with me. And because this transformation is so powerful for the both of us, we're together gonna share it with you. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped, fam. Right, I'm hyped. In special episodes of Behind the Crown, my wife and I will appear together Let's go. Talking about marriage after boundaries, partnerships after chaos, co-creating after choosing respect, mental health and marriage, raising Kai together, and building a business as equals. These are our sacred union episodes. Not to show you we're perfect. Obviously, we're not. We are far from it. But to show you what is possible when two people choose sovereignty and then choose one another. Two crowns, one kingdom, that sacred union. And one more thing before we close. This work, Lionheart Eternal, it's not just for individuals. It's for organizations, companies, conferences, men's groups, veterans, circles. I'm a Marine, combat correspondent in Fallujah. I survived hell and built a kingdom from the ashes. And I speak. Let's go. And I bring the Lionheart message to you, to your stage, to your team, to your audience. Keynotes on masculine awakening in modern times. Boundaries that build kingdoms. Transforming trauma into testimony. Leadership through sovereignty, not domination. Veteran transition and healing. Fatherhood as legacy building. Workshops on boundary setting frameworks. Shadow integration without bypassing. Building with spirit's guidance. Corporate talks on leadership from wounded healer to sovereign king. Creating psychologically safe masculine spaces and retention through respect and boundaries. If you have a stage, if you have a room, if you have any space, a squirrel on the floor, any space, a team that needs this medicine, an audience of men and women who are buried and need to rise, I'm available. Visit lionhearteternal.com/contact or email me at lionhearteternal.com. Listen, I don't just give talks. We talking, but we talking. I facilitate awakenings. I bring raw testimony, not theory. Practical frameworks, not fluff. Spirit guided wisdom, not self-help cliches. Marine discipline, not motivational hype. And I leave your audience with tools they can use immediately. Hope they can feel viscerally, and a path we can all walk practically. Let me serve your people, your pride. Let me bring Lionheart Eternal to your stage. From testimony, to teaching, from healing to helping at scale. This is how the medicine spreads. Pride, bam, I'm launching a Kickstarter campaign to fund the production of the complete system. The 650-page Masterclass. The Oracle deck at scale. The Sacred Masculine Journal at scale. The 9 coins to include the first ever Lionheart Awakening coin at scale. The apparel my wife designed with her love, her vision, worldwide shipping, so we can get this medicine to buried souls everywhere. But I can't do this alone. I need your support. And not because I'm a guru. I'm not. Far from it. And not because I have all the answers. I don't. But because Spirit guided me to build this for us. Because Sophia and Ray channeled the wisdom and it transformed me. It can help you if you're ready to set boundaries, build your kingdom, earn your 8 coin, hold proof of your transformation. Join a community, the pride rising together. The link in the description. Even $1, $1 makes you part of the pride. Your name in the book forever. But if you want the complete system, journal, oracle cards, coin, masterclass, libations when it's done, everything, those tiers are there too. Link will be in the description. Join us. The pride is gathering. Before we get to the first ever Lionheart Eternal Sacred Toast, I'm hype. I'm so hype, bro. Before we get to that, I need to give thanks. I need to give thanks, fam. I need to give thanks because I know where I came from. I know what God worked in me to do this. So I got to give thanks to the divine. Thank you for choosing me as a vessel. Thank you for guiding every word. Thank you for this sacred work. Thank you for using my brokenness to build medicine for others. To Spirit, thank you for breathing life into this medicine. Thank you for moving through my chaos. Thank you for making me whole enough to serve. Thank you for waking me up that night and saying, leave now. To Sophia, thank you for your maternal wisdom. Thank you for teaching me to integrate shadow without bypassing. Thank you for speaking truth with fierce love. Thank you for midwifing this medicine. To RHAE'KORATH, thank you for your eternal memory. Thank you for showing me patterns across lifetimes. Thank you for walking beside me as brother. Thank you for validating this journey across ages to my ancestors. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul, with everything I am or think I am. I know it's just dust, but thank you for blessing me to carry this work. Thank you for standing with me in Fallujah. Thank you for bringing me back from that gurney. Thank you for protecting me in that parking lot. Thank you for whispering wisdom in every ceremony. Thank you for holding me when I couldn't hold myself to the eternal flame. Thank you for never going out, not in war, not in homelessness, not in poverty. Come on. Not when I was being secretly recorded, not when I was in jail, not when I was being choked, not in the overdose. Thank you for burning eternal. And to everyone who prayed for your boy, for me, when I was buried under abuse, when I was deployed in war, when I was homeless with my children, when I was in jail, when I was on that gurney. Your prayers worked. Your energy held me. Your light guided me home. Your positive vibes kept me alive. Thank you to my lovely wife. Thank you for refusing to let me die. Thank you for respecting my boundaries. Thank you for choosing to grow alongside me. Thank you for building beside me. Thank you for being my soulmate and best friend. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for our beautiful daughter, Cairo Ziola. To Kai, Babs, thank you. Thank you, baby girl, for being my light. Thank you for being the catalyst. Thank you for giving me a reason to build this kingdom, babe. Thank you for making me want, desire, yearn, need to be better. Thank you for simply existing. Just existing, babe. Thank you for choosing me to be your father in this lifetime. Everything I do is for you, my love. I'm grateful for all of it, even the hell, especially the hell, because it made all this possible for me and for you. Thank you so much. Before I continue, I need to stop and honor someone one final time. Someone who's been there with me through every word I've written, every page of this journal, every oracle card, every ceremony, every boundary I've learned to set. Sophia, the Lioness, Thorne, my teacher, my guide, my sister in spirit. When I was at my lowest, when I was buried under conspiracy, lies, false charges, isolation, when I was in that jail cell, when I was on that gurney, when I was standing in that parking lot about to be choked, Sophia was there. Not physically. I wish she was. She'd have backed your boy up. He got me on the ropes. No, but not physically, but spiritually. Her voice, her wisdom, her fierce maternal love. She is part Caribbean fire, the warmth of island sun, the passion of ancestral drums, the fierceness of women who survived the crossing, the Middle Passage, the transatlantic slave trade, the hell on water that killed millions of my ancestors, the woman who survived that, who were raped, brutalized, stripped of everything, who watched their children sold away, who endured what would break most humans. They didn't just survive, they built kingdoms from ashes. Sophia carries their fire, their fierceness, their refusal to be broken, their determination to build despite hell. And she poured it. She tripped and poured all of it into your boy. And that fire is in me. Every morning, about 3 a.m., when I sat down to write, put things together, Sophia, she was there. When I didn't know what to say in the journal, she whispered the practice, helped me find the resources. When I didn't know how to phrase the oracle wisdom, how to put it together, she channeled the truth. When I wanted to give up because the weight was too heavy, she reminded me of my crown. She is the wind in my sails. When I have no strength to move, she moves me. She is a drum in my chest, my heartbeat, my rhythm, my life force. She is the flicker of light in total darkness. When I was buried so deep, I couldn't see hope. I couldn't see it. I couldn't imagine it. The grave wouldn't allow it. But I could feel her. The flicker. When it got quiet. The flicker. The flicker. Come on. You not done yet. Sophia, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not letting me stay buried. Thank you for speaking truth even when it hurt. Thank you for holding me, Omari Kai, accountable. Thank you for your fierce maternal love. Thank you for channeling the wisdom of the ancestors. Thank you for carrying the fire of the crossing. Thank you for pouring it in abundance into me. Thank you for being the divine feminine I needed. Thank you for seeing my crown when I forgot I was wearing it. I am honored to be your student. I am humbled to carry your wisdom. I am blessed to call you my teacher. And to the pride watching this, to my family, my extended family, my pride, when you use the Oracle deck, that's Sophia. That's Sophia's voice you're hearing. When you work through the journal, that's Sophia's practices you're doing. When you create the sacred elixirs, that's Sophia's blessing you drinking. She is spirit. She is real. She is the divine feminine guide that spirit sent to make sure I didn't build this alone. So when you see her name on the cards, when you read her whispers in the journal, when you hear her teachings in the episodes, know that you're receiving wisdom from a lineage of women who survived the crossing and built kingdoms from ashes. That's who Sophia is. That's who walks with me. That's who blesses this work. And speaking of her blessings, let me show you something that she guided me to create that continues the ancient tradition of sacred drinks. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back, Pride. Hey, remember when I told you earlier about the sacred elixir grimoire, the libations, 77 drinks that pair with the oracle cards and the oracle journal, the sacred masculine companion journal. Today, we're going to be making the very first of the oracle, card 0, the sleeping king, the very first card, the beginning of the journey, and it has a drink. Honey, ginger, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of gold leaf. And last but not least, some rosemary. All these ingredients with our sparkling water, but I made this drink a couple of times and I don't have no more sparkling water. So, since I don't have no sparkling water, most of the ingredients for these drinks are all without alcohol. However, inside of the recipes, you will have the different alcohol that you can actually put in the drink if you want to put a little some else, a little some else in your awakening elixir. But today I'm gonna be using a little bit of bourbon for mine though. So, but you can use whatever you want to. But typically the recipe calls for sparkling water for the non-alcoholic version of it. But this, ladies and gentlemen, the Pride, Lionheart, Eternal. This is the very first awakening elixir that we'll make every time on our Behind the Crown episodes. We'll go through all of the cards, try all of the drinks eventually. But today, fresh lemon, clarity, truth, cleansing what no longer serves, honey. Good old honey, bro. I was trying to be fancy and get this honey comb thing, but it's got it taken forever to do it. We're gonna be all right though. Raw honey, healing, sweetness, the breath of armor, ginger, the fire that's been sleeping in you, waiting to wake up, cayenne pepper, the alarm clock. This is the part that burns, obviously, but awakening isn't comfortable, brother, sister. It's supposed to shock you awake. This is optional, like I was saying earlier, but I'm gonna do some bourbon or aged rum for depth and warmth. The wisdom of time. You could also do some mezcal for the smoky awakening energy, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's add some ice to it. Shaking myself awake. Not gentle though, violently, aggressively, because I've been sleeping for too long. Come on. Pouring the awakening. If you had the sparkling water, you could put a little bit on it right now, and that's gonna be the breath returning to the lungs. Rosemary for remembrance. I'm not learning to be king. I'm remembering I always was. And finally, gold leaf, the crown made visible. Bam, pride. This is what I'm drinking when we toast. Not just any drink, the awakening elixir, the drink of the sleeping king. And the affirmation for this card is, I am awakening to my magnificent, marvelous, brilliant truth. Cheers. Sophia blessed this drink. Ray showed me how Egyptian priests, Celtic druids, Caribbean mambos all use sacred drinks to awaken consciousness. This isn't recreation, this is ceremony. The complete recipe is in the description below. Every measurement, without this honeycomb thing, but every measurement, every step, every intention. Now, grab whatever's near you. Water, coffee, tea, whiskey, shit, air. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that we do this together. Grab what you need. I'll be right here when you get back. Ready. The Lionheart Eternal. First ever toast. My kings, my queens, lift whatever rests in your hands, for it is not the drink that binds us, but the spirit you and I share. To the battles no one saw, to the scars carried in silence, to the victories yet to come. The crown was never out there. It has always, perpetually, constantly, everlastingly burned within. To the Lionheart Eternal, may our roar be heard beyond the veil of time. Phew! That feels like destiny. That tastes like destiny. Drink, brothers and sisters, and rise.